What do you like to do for fun?
I play pickleball.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I play bridge. I cook. That is fun for me. Okay, my name is LySa Nguyen, and my passion is to empower others and help them to achieve and be the best person they're intended to be. Um, I am a business leadership and sales coach. I'm also an entrepreneur and investor, and I just kind of like to just dabble in all kinds of businesses. So, and I have lots of hobbies. I think it started because as a first generation immigrant, we left everything and came to the States and had to rebuild. My parents and I had to rely on the kindness of strangers to help us rebuild. And in the process, you really truly learn to be grateful and to appreciate other people's kindness and how they are willing to extend themselves to help us. And in doing that, they leave with me this desire to give back and to help others. I think my passion remains pretty steady and stable and consistent throughout my life. I think how I choose to express that passion has changed as I grow and mature. And all the experiences in my life has culminated in this desire now to be a coach. This is my chosen profession in the second half of my life. So I've done all the climbing the corporate ladder and being a business owner and an entrepreneur and a mom and all those things. And now I have chosen to pretty much combine all of those experiences into coaching.
Okay.
I would classify myself as being in between two cultures, which when I was young made it very, very difficult because I didn't feel belong in any culture or any environment really truly belong. And then, you grow and you mature and you learn to be comfortable in your own skin. And you become more compassionate to yourself, and therefore you accept that you pick and choose certain aspect of each culture that you embrace and identify with. But overall, I am who I am. The fact that I was born and raised in Vietnam until I was 10, came to the States and was raised in a subculture, meaning that outside of school, most of my interactions were with other Vietnamese. So on Friday night, I had Vietnamese choir. On Saturday morning, we volunteer as a church group within the Vietnamese culture. And then I did Vietnamese classes and Vietnamese religion and youth group, all within that subculture. So for me, being able to function and move from one culture to the next is a skill set, and it doesn't identify who I am so much as I'm grounded in values from each of the culture. Does that make sense?
No, that definitely makes sense.
Okay. I have coached other people, other business leaders, personally and professionally for a long period of time. But recently I have formalized my relationship with a company called Southwestern Consulting, and we either are assigned coaching clients, or I go out into the communities and solicit business from other business leaders that would like to be coached or would feel that they can benefit from my coaching. I think how you communicate it really is about how you were taught, right? And as an Asian American woman, it was very difficult for me to learn how to take the front seat in leadership roles, and I had to learn how to build a strong voice for myself as a woman in leadership roles. And then I think I needed, in general, our culture does not promote confrontation, nor does it promote a real direct communication. So having to learn how to be direct and very focused in the way you communicate was something I had to really truly learn. And then learning that confrontations and feedback, be it negative, is part of a process of growth and growing, and that it shouldn't be something we avoid or we fear, but it is just a natural process of growth. And so I think that those are probably one of the few skills that I truly struggled with and had to learn. But there's more than that too, right? I mean, the fact is that I often felt alone in a room of leaders, and I'm the only woman, or I'm the only person that looked like me, and struggle because first generation immigrants tend to encourage their children to enter into technical fields and engineering, computer, accounting. I bucked the system and went into business, right? And so learning how to struggle in a leadership role in business, when you buck the system, you don't really have that natural feedback to your roots, because it's very difficult to go back to the people that says, I told you not to go into. So to bring this all full circle, all those struggles, all the things I've learned helps me to coach, because I can identify, I can understand, I can communicate, I can really be compassionate to someone who's struggling with almost anything, right? So that imposter syndrome, it really creeps up, right? You're not really truly prepared for it. It comes up at really inopportune times, when you about to present something big, when you're about ready to take front seat in a leadership role, when you're about ready to present an innovative thought or project. That's when it really rears its ugly head, right? And so I think being able to be aware that the imposter syndrome really does happen to all of us, no matter what walk of life, and no matter where, our background or, our aspiration, it does rear its ugly head. And to acknowledge it, and then be able to cultivate in your network people that you can turn to, that you can truly be authentic with. I am feeling uncertain. I feel this fear that they're gonna find out, right? And the hardest part is the more people give you the accolades. Oh, they pat you on the back. They tell you how wonderful you have done. The more you start feeling that imposter syndrome, it creeps up. You go like, oh, now they really raised the bar. The expectation keeps going up. And what if I can't? What if I'm not equipped to fulfill that expectation, right? And so, it happens to all of us, and not just someone in your age range. It happens to someone like, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, no matter how successful they are. Because what happened is, no matter how successful you are, if you truly want to grow and be better, you're always stretching yourself and challenging yourself to do something outside your comfort zone, which then the imposter syndrome creeps up, right? So. I decided that I wanted to be a coach, and in the field of coaching, anyone can be a coach. It's not regulated, right? And so there's no required certification, right? And so my struggle when I first decided to enter into the coaching business was how do I give myself the credentials I need to add credibility to my role as a coach, and then how do I differentiate myself from all the other coaches, and then and how do I bring all of the sum of my experiences and really utilize my strengths in really embracing my role as a coach with my cultural background, my professional background, my personal journey, right? And how do I do all of that? How do I incorporate all of that into something that would be helpful to my clients, right? So that was it took some time for me to do that, right? To really reflect and to look at my journey of life and really look at what has worked for me, what has not, and how do I incorporate that in the effort of helping others. And so it requires you to really make the effort to be courageous, because you have to really truly face your strengths and your weaknesses. So. For me, joining Southwestern, when Southwestern Southwestern Consulting and Coaching, when I looked at their website, they were not the most diverse company I've ever worked with, to say the least. And so it was, of course, I would have loved to enter into a company where I can see more people that look like me, right? And can identify with other people that look more like me, right? So there was a bit of apprehension when you look at the website and the diversity was not there. So that was a bit of a I had to take a few steps back in order to truly reflect how being an Asian may impact me negatively in an environment that's not so diverse. But at the same time, I felt that if I don't take the step and I don't expand people's thinking, then the status quo will continue, and I might have missed an opportunity to make a difference. And so I feel that many of the expansion in the way people think outside of their normal comfort level, that I do have to work a little harder to expand that thinking, and have to be very careful and very, very precise and almost deliberate and intentional about when and how I expand their thinking. You can't go into an environment and just shake everything up. You have to be really intentional and deliberate about it, which I'm not the most patient person in the world, which is a bit of a struggle for me. So I founded a commercial real estate investment company, and it's still doing well. I am a partner in a jazz club downtown Austin. I owned a mail and shipping place that like a independent mail and shipping place like a FedEx or a UPS. So I did that for a little while. And overall, I was in a restaurant business for a little while. And then in our commercial real estate investment company, we invest in commercial properties. We have invested in storage units, land. I think the fact that I strongly identified myself as an Asian American does permeate through my entire my entire ecosystem, right? I mean, it's just of who I am, right? And so it affects me spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and does I still pray in Vietnamese. I count in Vietnamese. I speak Vietnamese fluently and read Vietnamese, but yes, I pray in Vietnamese. My relationship with God is certainly the connection is through mostly Vietnamese spoken words, right? And thoughts. So education, of course, first generation immigrants, there's, we were expected to go to college and succeed, and from a sexuality perspective, I think I'm more grounded from the sexuality perspective in my religious belief than my cultural belief. And so from a moral perspective, I think, I'm grounded probably in both. both religious and cultural perspective, in that, karma. I believe in doing good for others, and I believe that if I sin or do harm to others, that I might not be the one to pay for that, but my children or my grandchildren, and future generations to come. That is important to me, that I don't do that to them. And so I'm certainly guided by that. I'm not quite sure if that is from the Asian part of me or from the religious part of me. But I'm grounded in that, right? So from a family perspective, it's very difficult to it's very difficult to have children born and raised here in this country to identify themselves with values that I bring to the table. And so, I lived through the Vietnam War, and with the Vietnam War came a lot of trauma, and a lot of ugliness that you witnessed, and so you want to protect your children from that. But the downfall of being overly protective of your children is that they may not be able to see that or understand who you are, what made you who you are, because experiencing trauma and ugliness of life shapes who we are. And so I think, from a family perspective, I think it is my desire to have my children be connected more with my motherland, to be connected more with what has shaped me, and why I have the values I have. But the reality is there's always that gap. Yeah, my favorite place in the whole world, and I've been to 35 different countries, is Long Beach. In Vietnamese, it's called Bãi Yai, which literally translates to Long Beach. It's in Cam Ranh Bay. I was born near that area, and lived near that area in Cam Ranh Bay, which has beautiful blue water and white sand. It's a bay, so it's protected. I love that place. It's magical to me, because it is surrounded by mountain, and then you have white water, white sand, blue water, encompassed by the mountain and rocks, really protected. But I was there 7-8 years ago before it became developed. And you cannot see any kind of electrical wire. No, you don't see a lot of modern convenience display everywhere, and so you are able to sit in these tents, and they have these tables. They bring fresh catches, and you get to pick, the seafood, and then they bring you a charred coal grill on the table, and you grill your own meat, your own food, and it's magical to me. It's a place where I feel like connected, and And also, it's a place where the natural wonder and beauty of it makes me feel humble and blessed, to be able to be a part of it, to witness it. And when you are feeling that feeling of gratitude, is when you truly want to give back, to make an impact. Is when you have the ability to be connected to something bigger than yourself. The natural wonder and beauty of something that you get to partake in, that helps you and leave you with a feeling of gratitude, which makes it much easier to go out there and forge a way and really put in the effort to make an impact in the environment, in the environment we live in, the community we live in, to the people that we care about and the people we work with. What is my favorite blanket? So I am deeply rooted in my faith. So my faith is what helps me to be grounded, and when adversity comes, when challenges come, when devastations or painful moments come, I am rooted in a belief that I'm intended to learn something. I'm intended to grow, and the struggles to be grounded in that is part of being a human. But in general, I believe that I am armored in the belief that I'm part of a bigger plan, that my role in life is to do what I'm supposed to do, grow and learn and make a difference. So yeah, I believe that, if we can't be rooted in a belief that we are part of a bigger plan, and we are so egocentric, then I think that we just miss opportunities to truly make a difference and embrace what we're intended to do. So, do I have a physical blanket favorite? Well, at the foot of my bed, there is a blanket that has a calla lily on it, and it's a purple calla lily. Calla lily is my favorite flower, and purple is my favorite color. So it sits at the foot of my bed, and I think, when you can identify yourself with certain things and you see beauty in it, it's helpful to be reminded that no matter how bad your day is, how bad you think life is, or challenges you're facing, that there are still so many beautiful things in the world for you to appreciate, to discover, to truly appreciate, And so, yeah, so I look at it often and really, truly am blessed to be part of life's beauty. How we choose to look at things is our own choice. So